matter where you are in the world. CSL Dallas is here as your spiritual home. As a reminder, every day is a day for transformation, spiritual deepening, and heart connection, no matter what's going on. Every day we learn and practice something important, and that makes a difference. Join us all this month as we celebrate our Mother Earth and our divine feminine. Let's get ready for today's celebration by putting your hands together for the CSL Dallas music team.
Would you please welcome Iris I? Come on, say your last name.
You're welcome.
14 years old. She auditioned. She made the cut. The girl can sing. Welcome her.
Fantastic. Good morning, CSL Dallas. Great to see you here on campus. Great to see you visiting with us online. I'm Joe Tinker. I'll be your platform assistant today, standing in for Michael Brundy, who was scheduled, and you know what? He's spending the day with his mother of 95 years of age. So Gotta love that, and power to you, Michael, for making that important. So glad to be with you here on this Mother's Day, and I wish you a happy Mother's Day as well. To get started, let's read our purpose statement together. We are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, transforming lives, and so it is. Okay, hey, I'm going to get you through a few announcements here. We got a fantastic celebration to look forward to, but make a note a couple of these things you may want to put on your calendar. Okay, if you're suffering from chronic pain or physical challenges, and if you're ready for healing, you're invited to a very special ritual. Tuesday, May 14th, Dr. Petra is hosting, and practitioner Sharon McGregor will lead a Native American sacred pipe ceremony. It's designed to create a healing environment and personal demonstration. It's calling for awakening from within. It's a sacred pipe ceremony calling in the 8 directions, our ancestors, and all the incarnations of infinite spirit. This will heal our bodies and our minds, and you can sign up now. Go to CSL Dallas, the events page, and go to April 14th, May 14th. May 14th, or unless you can travel back in time, you come and tell us what it was like. Well, bit of sad news. We want to let you know our beloved Nelda Bear Van Meter has passed. For those of you who wish to attend, she was having a memorial service. This will be held at St. Joseph Catholic Church at 600 South Juniper Road. That's in Richardson. It'll be May 17th at 10 a.m., and it will include a labyrinth, hosted by the CSL Dallas Labyrinth team and the Wisdom Circle. Now, starting June 1st, we will be birthing a new cycle of life here, or circle of life, here with the help of our very own practitioner, Cindy Young. The Soul Recovery Group is for those who are in recovery and want to practice the 12-step method incorporating the science of mind principles. This work is based on an amazing book written by Esther Nicholson, and more details will be posted on our website. It'll also get an email. If you're on our email list, you'll get an email telling you about that. Be sure and put it on your calendar. It's going to be on Saturdays, starting the first week in June. It's 4 p.m. Saturdays, and it's in person here on campus. And on that same day, we will also be hosting a very special Pride Labyrinth walk here at our campus. Now, this labyrinth is a space to lend your intention and consciousness and raise the vibration of our national conversation so that we collectively release the hate and the injustices that face the LGBTQ community. This labyrinth will be open from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. You're free to come and go at any time during that open time frame to walk the labyrinth yourself. If you've never walked a labyrinth, by the way, the team has folks there who can help you get comfortable with how to approach and work your way through the labyrinth. They'll tell you everything you need to know. More details will be posted online, so make sure to tune into your emails, mark your calendar for this special labyrinth event to heal and raise the consciousness around our beloved LGBTQ folks. All right, now, whether you're joining us for the first time today or you've been connected for years, you are welcome here. However you found us, whether in person, online, we'd love to connect with you. And by the way, you know what? Post something up on your favorite social media. Tell your friends and family, people who know you, all about CSL Dallas. Help to spread the love and grow our connections. Also, today, if you haven't done so, you can fill out a Connect card. Looks like this. We have them at the back of the sanctuary. That way you can get the emails like I just referenced and text updating you on activities and whatever is coming up at CSL Dallas. All right, that's it on the announcements for now. Chance now to settle in, take a deep breath, and settle into the morning with the music team, Candy, Aaron, Glenda, and Iris, as we go within and center with Dr. Tracy Brown.
its power in my hand. I am called by the voice that speaks of truth and joy, forever blessed where I stand. I am. Taking a breath. I am. Keep breathing. And I invite you to join me as we center in and go deep, deep, deep to that place of the I am. I am the love, I am the joy, I am the peace, I am the presence of Spirit itself. I am. I am here. That part of me, which is the divine feminine, is here. The way that my life has been touched by the divine feminine in everyone I have met from birth until today is here. I am that. Breathe. There is no accident that together we have come to honor mothers, to honor the lessons we've learned from mothers, whether they were lessons we learned from love or lessons we learned to be loved differently from the way that we have been treated. We honor mothers today. We honor all the people who have served in mother roles in our lives, whether they were biologically connected to us or not. And we honor the divine feminine in this moment. So I invite you to join me as we come together today, whether it is in person or virtually. I invite you to join me in saying, welcome, welcome to what is here for me in this conversation. Welcome what comes to me from the wisdom imparted through Reverend Dr. Petra Weldes. Welcome the joy and the insight that I feel from the music. Welcome it all. For today, right now, we are here to celebrate love and life. Are you ready to celebrate with me? Yes. Then let us affirm it together with Aho. Ashe. Amen. Shalom. And so it is. That
I will be. I am all that I am.
Music team rocking the house. Music team rocking the house. Band rocking the house. Fabulous. Yes, thank you so much. All right, well, we have some thank yous and some welcomes to say today. As you know, change is inevitable. It is the fabric of the space-time continuum and is the truth of life all the time. And so we have a thank you to say. We're going to invite Katrina Hawkins to come on up here. Katrina has been our Joy Village coordinator for almost a year, and we are so happy to have had her and so sorry to be losing her. What you don't know about Katrina is that she is an incredibly successful businesswoman herself. She does this amazing thing with testimonies. She has people all over the world, all over the country that work for her, and she's just received a massive contract, nationwide contract, and yes, and so, you know, she's got to be about her business, right? And yet she's been a lovely, lovely, lovely addition to our staff and has really helped bring our Joy Village to come together again out of the pandemic, and has a deep place of love for kids and has really been a lovely addition to staff. So we are going to say thank you to her. We're going to have an opportunity to sing to you. But before we do that, we're going to just invite you to step right over here. And we're going to say welcome to Faye Abdus-Salam. Faye, where are you? Faye, come on up here. So Faye is one of our licensed spiritual coaches and has been volunteering in lots of different positions. And in November, December, I can't remember exactly when, she answered the desperate call to come and be a part-time contracted employee with us to help in Lauren's departure. So she has been part-time in our office, and as you may know, she's a ministerial student. She'll be graduating at the end of the year. She'll be taking her panels early next year, so we cannot actually hire her as an assistant minister yet. So we are hiring her full-time as the assistant to the minister. As of the 1st of June, she's already working with Katrina. Half of her position will be Joy Village. She's been a teacher. She has a huge love for youth and family. And she'll be taking on portions of Reverend Patty's position and Brianna's position, some of the departments, and we'll be clarifying all of that. But it's way too much to tell you because we have a lot more things to say. But, so we're really excited that Faye will be actually joining us full-time here in the next month. Yes. So, please stand over there. Okay, and last but not least, we have had the opportunity to hire, while I was gone, thank you, Ryan, Brianna, and Sherry Wood for hiring while I was gone. I came home I will tell you that it made a couple of ministers' heads spin when I said, oh, no, the staff is hiring somebody while I'm out of town. And they were like, what? I was so grateful. Ty Schauster, come on up here. So we're super excited to welcome Ty to the staff full-time. Ty is going to be relieving Faye of all the administrative stuff she said she would do because we really needed it, but it's not her juice. So we're just really, like you said yes when we needed you, and you just jumped in with both feet, and we cannot thank you enough for that. I mean, holy mackerel, really, and thank God, and she's really grateful to be turning it over to Ty. Over this month. Ty is taking primarily most of Lauren's position, all the database management, all the calendaring, all the bringing of all of that together and making sure that we are communicating well with you and that everything goes into communication. So he's doing a lot of database stuff. He's this deep in fellowship Fellowship and Fellowship 1 right now, learning how to do all of that. But Ty comes to us with an amazing background in web design and communications. He's got an MBA. He and I both graduated from the University of Dallas. So he loves to talk about philosophy. So we're going to see that how that position then blossoms as the position that Lauren left in November gets fully rebrought back up. And we wanted to say not only the thank you to Faye, but an enormous thank you to Ryan. I know you're up there, Ryan. And what I told him every month, thank you for holding the center with me and being a rock for me. So he's going to be helping to turn things over and train Ty. So please welcome Ty Schuster. Yeah. So we are going to have Katrina stand here. And we want to also make sure that Faye is in on this a little bit too, because she's been holding the fort here. And I just invite you to stand and let us share our gratitude.
And we are grateful for all you do and all you give and everything you are. And we are grateful for all you do and all you give and everything you are.
Thank you to Katrina, to Faye, and to Ty. Thank you so, so very much. We're going to let you guys go ahead and go off, and we're going to invite our Joy Village to come on here into the front here, right up here in the front, because the Joy Village does have a Happy Mother's Day gift for you, from Joy Village and the Ritual team. So they have created some beautiful things to hand out. So if you're a mom, an aunt, a grandma, if you adopted mom, if you have been a mom in somebody's position, in somebody's life, regardless of whether you're male or female, if you have provided that kind of support, we'd love for you to rise here in the room. If I knew how to put it through the screen for those of you online, surely after virtual reality that is coming. And then we will share it with all of those of you who are online. But for those of you here, please move around the sanctuary and give your gift to all of the moms in the room. We do know how much, as a mom ourselves, we know how much you give and you do. And so while they're being passed all out, we're going to sing this song to you.
Inside my head there is a dream that I want to see in the sun. Behind my eyes there is a me that I've been hiding for much too long. 'Cause I've been too afraid to let it show. 'Cause I was scared of the judgment that may follow. Always putting off my living for tomorrow. I had to step out on faith. I had to show my face. It's been elusive for so long. Freedom is mine today. I had to step out on faith. Had to show my faith. It's the nation got me down. Hey, look what I have found. I found strength, courage, and wisdom. It's been inside of me all along. Strength, I'm remembering my word. Behind my pride, there is a me that knows humility. Inside my voice, there is a soul. Inside my soul, there is a voice. But I've been too afraid to make a choice, 'cause I was scared there's something I might be missing. Running too fast to listen. I had to step out on faith. I had to show my face. Been elusive for so long. Freedom is my day. Had to step out on faith. Had to show my face. Procrastination had me bound. But look what I have found. I found strength, courage, and wisdom. It's been inside of me all along. All right, strength, courage, and wisdom inside of me. I close my eyes and I think of all the things I want to see. And I know now that I've opened up my heart. I know that anything I want can be. So let it be. I'm gonna let it be. Let's let it be. Just let it be. And inside you is strength, courage, and wisdom. Every day it's inside of you all along. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, strength, courage, and wisdom. It's inside of you all along. And every day I'm thankful for strength, courage, and wisdom. Every day I'm thankful for. It's inside of me all along. Strength, courage, and wisdom inside of me. I want you to say these words. Say, I found it with us right here. Say, I found it in me and I found it. Say, I found it. It's in me. I found it. Oh, I found it. I found it. I found it. Say, I found it. I found it. And it's mine, oh, mine. And I found it. Ba, 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 ba. I found it. Ba, 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 ba. I found it. Ba, 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 ba. I found it. Ba, ba, ba. I found it. Thank you much. I found it.
Yeah, strength, courage, and wisdom. Anybody who's been a mom, you know how much we've needed that, right? Oh, man. Woo, hoo, hoo. All right. So, because it's Mother's Day, we're going to talk a little bit about nature versus nurture, because, that's a massive conversation that's been going on for a couple hundred years. Do people come in as a tabula rasa and they're just all messed up because of the people that they grew up with? And is it all nurture, or do people come in? Do we come in originally sinned? Do we come in as terrible, horrible children who want nothing but for ourselves, and have to be trained in some way? What is the deal here? And so much of that falls onto moms, especially the nurture part. So Today's talk is like an essay. Kind of rambles a little bit. So a lot of the things that I've learned and studied over the years and that I don't always get a chance to talk about. And these are the things that I think all of us should be paying attention to and thinking about when we think about the situation for women in society today with all the anti-abortion things that are going on, all the continued suppression of women. We still haven't passed the Equal Rights Amendment. It's pretty extraordinary, the number of single moms, particularly in the cultures or in the areas of poverty, people of color who are trying to raise their children by themselves on less than minimum wage. There's a host of things that are still not right with the group of people that make up 50% of the population. Lots and lots of strides have been made. Lots of strides are being made throughout the world. There's lots of places where the education of women has been seen as a turning point in cultures, and yet there are also places where that is, again, being closed down. And so it's part of the reason why we're celebrating the Divine Feminine this whole month, because we want to bring it to the table. We want to bring it spiritually to the table and personally to the table. It is a part of our social justice issues that we're facing, and we want to educate ourselves and find a way to be present to it that really aligns with our spirituality. So this is an opportunity, right? And as I closed last week, remember that matriarchy is not the opposite of patriarchy. It's not about elevating women above men. It is about building a place where there's a recognition of the deep equality and the equity that's needed, and a recognition that we're all different and we all bring something else to the table. And it may actually not have to do with our biological genitalia that we were born with. That the divine feminine does in fact live within all of us. It is more present in some of us than in others, which is not inappropriate in any way because we all bring things forward. And so this is a bit of a conversation. I invite you to just see what is here for you and to think about these things because it feels important. So one of the things that we don't talk about very much, especially if you, like me, were raised in a Catholic church or in a Christian tradition, is that there are two versions of the creation of Adam and Eve, or of the first humans. And actually, the first creation of the first humans is made on day 6 of creation, and it is Genesis 1, 26, 27. And God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, after our likeness." And then he talks about, then there's a conversation about the birds and the bees and the fowl and the all of nature, that we have dominion over all of nature. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God created he them. Male and female created he them. And this passage has puzzled scholars for a long time. How can we have a monotheism when we have a God that says, "Let us make God in our image"? And of course, it's a recognition later in the Hebrew Bible, a recognition that Sophia is the name that is given to wisdom, and in the Psalms and in some of the books of the later Bibles, especially in the Psalms, Sophia says, "And I was when God began or became. I was with God and was God and was part of the creation of the world, part of the creation of earth." And so wisdom, as Sophia, as the feminine face of the divine, was present even in these very, very, very ancient teachings and it doesn't get brought forward. It's not made primary, as we talked about last week. And again, here's the Ernest Holmes quote: "Humanity then is the actual incarnation of universal spirit. Every man or woman is the incarnation of the original creative spirit. The incarnation of spirit in us, as us, is us. Male and female created he them." And so, right, it's always about biology, isn't it? It always starts with biology and the idea that biologically we are so different, which then has been evolved into the idea that there is a gender difference between who we are as men and as women, as governed by our biology. And yet there's so many things that both corroborate this and also deny this. And so maybe it's more than just our biology, right? It's why we're talking about nature versus nurture. And we'll see if maybe it's both and as opposed to an either or. What you might not know is that when, you always hear about the fight or flight, right? The reptilian brain has a stimulus response, and the response is fight, flight. They did some more studies, and then it became freeze. Fight, flight, or freeze as the primary responses. And we all have them, except that all of those studies were originally done with men. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Just like heart attacks show up differently in women, ADHD shows up differently in the feminine system, in the female system. So does this biology. And so somebody thought about, like, well, that's interesting. Why don't we do the same study but do it for women? And the predominant response in women, not all, because of course we all have feminine and masculine energies within us, but the predominant response within women is actually tend and befriend, not fight or flight. It's actually tend and befriend. Fight or flight seems to be very much out of the sort of masculine biological focus of forward, move forward, seek threats, provide, hunt, look for, right? It's this motion. And there's a way of focusing that the divine masculine has that is extraordinary and necessary. And it shows up in this idea of protecting and providing. Tend and befriend is this. And they describe it as, while the men are outside the cave making sure the lion isn't getting in and making sure that they're hunting for food, when the river rises and it seeks to get into the cave, what the women are doing is looking around. Where are the kids? Do you need help? Do you have all your stuff? What are we doing? Oh, will you help take my kid with your kid? So tend and befriend. They're looking for what needs to be taken care of, who needs to be included, and who can I help, and who will help me. Biologically designed to be a complement to the divine masculine, taking care of the threat, protecting and providing, the tending and befriending, right? And we all also have both of them within us. We have just not made tend and befriend as valuable. We can see that in our history lessons. If you go to history, right, what do you learn about the wars? Who won? Who lost? Not the stories of how new cultures were created, how people were brought into new situations, how people befriended each other, took care of each other. All right, that doesn't make it into our history books. The recognition that the biology that comes with the predominantly female biology is one about helping, tending, gathering, and being a part of something. And remember where we ended up last time, right? Also, that we have this within both of us. We have both of these things within us. The challenge has been over the centuries, the equivalent of behavior and biology have either been rewarded, and when those two things don't align, in many cases, particularly in the Western culture, it has been ridiculed. When behavior and biology don't seem to align in the way that we expect, or the way that our culture over the last 5,000 years has evolved. And yet, one of the things we know from a spiritual point of view is that consciousness has been growing an organ in which it could reveal itself to itself, and that is self-awareness. That is self-consciousness. And the very innate nature and the very impulse of life itself has been to grow an organ in which consciousness can reveal itself. And so beyond the biology, there is that which is the very truth of our being, the very spiritual nature that we have, and then the tendencies and the ways in which that spiritual impulse is individuated, right? We understand ourselves to be individualized expressions of the one. Individualized, not cookie cuttered, right? Not 10 people are a circle and 10 people are a square and 10 people are a star and 10 people are a triangle. No. Individualized expressions of the one, cloaked in a form and a way of showing up in the world, which then, of course, does get rewarded or not in the predominant culture in which we grow up in. So, and when that predominant culture always goes back to nature, this is the way it's supposed to be, the way you're supposed to be, the way you're supposed to behave and look, and what your biology destines you for, then what we have are boxes, expectations, and stories about how people are supposed to behave. A man is supposed to be this, a woman is supposed to be that, right? And that is when biology is the piece that's driving it. And of course, we see with our, first of all, LGBTQ beloveds, as well as the enormous push that has been going on for centuries, but really also in the last few hundred years for women to say, excuse me, I should be able to own my own property, have a credit card, vote, manage my own body. These actually are things that should belong to me as a human being, not just as fitting into the box, just as men may find themselves very boxed in by a certain expectation of masculinity. We call it today toxic masculinity. And it's the finding the space where the spiritual reality is allowing itself to be revealed, which allows us to be the fullness of who we are. Yeah. You know, for years, people, when birth became a medical event, nurses and doctors made the decision about the genitalia when a child was born, when an infant was born, because people are born with both. We know that. That has been documented for millennium. Hermaphrodites are a very real thing, and they made decisions. They just didn't talk about it. They just didn't say that they had made that decision. But depending on how the child is experiencing the hormones and the experience of the mother can have all kinds of impact on how this child shows up in the world. And the idea that someone has no sexuality at all or has no sense of sexuality has also been long documented, centuries and centuries of documentation. Of course, we have Sappho from the ancient Greeks. We have lots of recognition of the ancient Greeks in their conversation about the older men with younger men and all of that. And of course, we now also see that we have lots of experiences about that within the animal kingdom. 10% of the animal kingdom, then they've studied ducks and monkeys and geese and I can't remember 4 or 5 other types of animals sort of at all levels, and 10% of them behave in a homosexual way, which is mind-boggling for people who don't recognize this as part of the fluidity that biology isn't destiny. How many of you are familiar with the Kinsey Report? A few of you. The Kinsey Report in the 50s and 60s. Kinsey studied human sexuality, and of course, it was a huge scandal, giant scandal. It's really interesting. You should go read it. There's also some documentaries about it. And the scandal is that he discovered that, like everything else, human sexuality is on a bell curve. That means 10% of people are unalterably, absolutely, without any sense of anything different, heterosexual. 10% of them are unalterably, absolutely homosexual. That's just it. Where are the rest of us? On the bell curve. 80% of human beings, at least in the people that they studied, it was here in the United States, people that they studied, 80% of human beings have some form of bisexuality, actually. Little bit of, if you're over here, on down here, maybe just a little attraction, maybe on the top, maybe going either way. Huge scandal. And it was suppressed. But you can learn about it, right? Because consciousness has found an organ in which to reveal its fullness, its full truth, that this is all of who we are. So I have lots of personal experiences with this. One of them came as when my son and I, we moved in with my parents. My son was 18 months old. I'd run away when I was 15, and I was 32. And I said, I have a 15-month-old baby. I can't support him here, my cabin in the woods. Can I come home? My mom and stepfather had already moved here to Dallas, to the Fort Worth, up to the Flower Mound area. And he had taken an Episcopalian church because he was a priest in the Episcopalian religion. And so it was lovely. They, out of the Christian goodness of his heart, he allowed me to come in. And my mother was a huge boon for me in taking care of my son. And just lovely. They had an amazing relationship until she passed away. And now I remember that one day, because I was serving this community here as an interim minister. I'd already been a minister for 10 years. And I said one day at the dinner table, I asked and said, so I'd like to share the grace, the prayer that we say for grace at the table, because I'd like for my son to grow up in my spirituality and my tradition as much as he would grow up in your spirituality and your tradition. I'm perfectly happy that, both of these kinds of grace or prayers are said. And the answer was absolutely not. No, not only no, but I don't know what God you pray to. So you can't bring that to my dinner table. And my mother said, well, this seems a little odd. And I turned to my mother and I said, well, can you pray at the table? Do you say the prayer at the table? And she said, well, I don't normally because Bill is the priest and, I think that's a good thing. But of course I could pray at the table because I too am a Christian. And my stepfather said, oh no. No, women don't pray at the table. I'm the head of the household. Well, I will tell you that was a shocking moment for my mother. She did not realize that. And I am sorry to say that I did say, and I'd like to know what my genitalia has to do with my ability to pray. It's not a particularly kind response. I did not quite say it in that even tone of voice. And unfortunately for my mother, who was very saddened by it, we stopped eating together at the table so that my son could actually be raised in the tradition that I also believe is really empowering. I had no problem with them reading in the Bible and talking to him. My mother gave him a child Bible very early on. They spent a lot of time on all of that. It was lovely. My mother had a true deep, deep calling, a deep spirituality. She did prayer with people, healing work with people. She did all kinds of amazing things. And yes, of course, we understand they're all different paths. Every one of them is a valid and different path up the same mountain that we're all climbing. But I have to tell you, that was a moment. And I was stunned that in 1994, that was still being promulgated. The inability of women to whatever, right? And if you think about the centuries and millennium that women have been set aside and have been undermined in the very gifts that we have to give, all the way back into the deep ancient tradition that we get in the Old Testament of women being unclean, right? Unclean because of their monthly cycle and needing to be set aside during that monthly cycle. And science, early science, in which women were not participating. There was a lot of conversation about how women were hysterical, emotional, illogical, unable to be rational, and therefore there was no reason to educate them. You can read it in the books. It's in black and white writing. And of course, we see it today, and where there is a resurgence of that sort of thought. On the other hand, what's really interesting, how many of you read this fabulous book called The Red Tent? Right? If you haven't, women, men, you could read it too. It's called The Red Tent. And they're like, oh, thank God we don't have to be around the men for a week. They talk about how amazing it is to withdraw from the masculine energy and be together and just be women and just be able to be themselves and just be able to, and it's a whole entire other point of view about this, you're unclean and you can't be around. And do you see, it's never an either or. It's always a both and. And the extraordinary thing that has come out of the spiritual work that I've done with women over the years and the studies that I've done and all the work that is being done, you know, this whole idea about the premenstrual syndrome. And I hope that you are all men who never say to your wife, girlfriend, employer, employee, or child, oh, it's that time of the month, isn't it? Because this is what's used to show how hysterical and illogical women are. And yet one of the things that has been revealed in all this deep spiritual work that's been done and in countless work of depth psychology and therapy is that that which is being revealed in that premenstrual time is usually really important information for women that they've been suppressing for the rest of the cycle because they've been abdicating, making nice, living in a box, doing what women are supposed to be doing. And it escapes in that period of time. And if we don't understand that that's what's happening, we become angry, violent, depressed, or all of those other things. But if we can recognize that there's value in what's being revealed because the box is being opened, then men and women can have compassion for that moment in a woman's life. Maybe ask some valuable questions. Maybe allow for space of exploration. And maybe we would stop being so hard and angry with ourselves for in those times becoming irrational or illogical or emotional or unclear. These are there's so many things, and I'm completely run out of time. There's so many things I want to talk to you about. Why is it about long hair and covering hair? Well, the whole thing, you go back to Mary Magdalene, Lilith, and Eve, and the Virgin, right? And long hair allows for that sensuality to come out, and the Madonna always is covered, right? Because, as an imam said to me one time when I was invited to speak downtown at a mosque, and the men are in front and the women are in back, and he said to the men, I want you to understand, I have invited a woman to speak to you because the very first person who you listened to was your mother. And I said, well, if you're that progressive, why are the women always in the back? And his answer was, because men cannot control themselves when they see a woman kneeling in front of them with their butt in the air, whereas a woman can. That's what he said. It's like, I don't really know how to answer that question. I'm like, okay. But we have to go back to the temple priestesses and all the reasons why, right? You can't, how much that was made bad and wrong because they were powerful women who were sharing spirituality with the men. And so just because while we're on it, remember the whole thing about masturbation and not spreading your seed, right? Because that was aimed specifically at the fertility goddess traditions, where the temple priest would take the king for the year out to the fields. And in the spring, they would make love in the fields, and the man would pull out and he would disperse his seed into the ground. Why? To fertilize Mother Earth. To bless Mother Earth. To pray for the crops being fertile and to be renewed. And it was an act of deep sacredness. What have we lost? What have we lost in not understanding these things? Right, I have a granddaughter. We go down the pink aisle. Oh, God, in the pink aisle in the toy department. There's the pink aisle. Then there's the mechanical aisle, which is clearly the boy aisle. And then there's the aisle in between. We need more of that, right? The ancient indigenous traditions, they had the two-spirited people, right? They had no problem with their shamans who wanted to dress up as a woman if they were a man, or a man if they were a woman. Understanding this deep recognition that we are both divine masculine and divine feminine. This is the truth of who we are. And, this is a slide from last week. No, that's not true. This is my quote for today. Ernest Holmes says the first cause is both masculine and feminine in its nature. And my quote for today is embrace the divine feminine to bring humanity back into balance, that we may have all of it. And I'll leave you with this last statistic. It comes out of the UN. It was a statistic that was shared, I think it was 2 years ago, because there are wars that continue to break out and continue to happen, and there are places where there's constant churning over and over and over again. And they did a study of all the peace accords, those peace accords that have stayed valid and those peace accords that fell apart relatively quickly. And in every case, without exception, the peace accords that that had longevity, there was a woman at the table. Yes, not better than, equal to, bringing all of it to the table, allowing those of us who maybe are a little more masculine in a feminine body, and those who are a little more feminine in a masculine body, those who are perfectly balanced. Yeah, we wish, right? But I'm sure there's some people like that, right? Yeah. Ultimately, by raising the divine feminine, we come to a place of wholeness. So things to think about: observe, become self-aware, watch, notice, and ask yourself, am I awake? Am I awake? Or am I on autopilot about some of these ideas? Because you and I, we're light bringers. We're light bringers. And the light that we bring makes a difference. So it is.
Thank you, Dr. Petra. If I could, I'd like to ask our greeters to come forward. You know, during this celebration today, we got a great example of a fantastic music program. Wouldn't you agree? Our musicianship is the best. Please come right on forward. And we had a great representation of staff and the way that we grow and we move and we shake around here and we get things moving. And we have a fabulous representation of tremendous teaching that happens from this platform. Don't you agree? Yeah. Including a little bit about sex in the wheat fields, if you don't mind. Okay. But all that is not free. We create that. Everyone here in this sanctuary, everyone at home, you are a part of the way that this happens. So let us now take this opportunity to join our forces together and our financial gifts and put them into these baskets. Let's bless them and let's multiply them and participate at the proper perspective for our own contribution. Let's start with our abundance affirmation. I turn to the Spirit within, knowing that it desires to manifest through me. I joyfully anticipate greater abundance, more success, and more joy. CSL Dallas and our community are expecting and experiencing more abundance as we draw from the spiritual treasure house all that we need and more. And so it is. Fantastic. You know, without your gifts, pledges, and tithes, nothing happens here. So thank you again for your generous contributions. Text giving, Venmo, PayPal, auto tithing, use the baskets that are coming around. All those are available to you here at CSL Dallas. Now I would like to call up Aaron. Are you ready for this, Aaron? Did you know I was calling your name? Here we go. Aaron's going to tell us a little bit more about why we ought to be participating in our Journey to Awakening. It's the home study group.
Thank you so much, Joe. Good morning, everybody, and happy Mother's Day. I know my mom's watching, so hi, Mom. So my husband, my new husband, Joe, and I, we have done a couple of rotations of the home study groups. And, you know, I like analogies, and as a college student, you guys are probably familiar with, you know, if you sit inside a class and you hear the lecture, sometimes that's enough information to be able to take and incorporate into your life and, you know, be able to work with it. But like me, if you start getting up into some more difficult coursework, or you're looking to experience a little bit more of the deep lessons that all of these principles and ideas have to offer, and you kind of feel a little stuck, it's like, what do you do in college? You find some of your friends, right? You get together and you have a little study group, and everyone kind of sits with their own kind of perspective of what we're having to work on, and we share it together. And I have to say that since going through the home study groups, it has been a fantastic resource to not only connect with our community online, which has been fabulous, but to really share my perspective of how these lessons are relevant in my life and what everyone in the group gets to be able to share as well. So when it's wonderful, while it's wonderful to sit here and get the message every week, it is very one-sided. You're kind of passively sitting there listening to the message, and if it gets incorporated into your life, that's really, the onus is on you to be able to facilitate that. Home study groups take it to a whole new level. So I can say that since being a part of the home study groups, and I know that Joe and I, we are actually hosting this this go around here, is that just those lessons, they kind of stick in your head a little bit more, and I feel a lot more kind of motivated to be able to report back to my home study group what I have learned, what I'm struggling with, and kind of paying attention to how these types of situations are showing up in my own life. And I can say that the way this is manifested is that I said yes to starting on the music team, because that was a lesson that was in our home study groups. I got to pay attention to when these instincts are coming up. That instinct kind of spiraled into me doing a triathlon with no training, entering a business pitch competition with no experience whatsoever, and becoming a semifinalist, and then actually signing up to be a TEDx speaker, which I was able to do just a few weeks ago.
All right.
So I'm extremely grateful to everyone that I've had a chance to sit and share, because it has definitely enriched and helped my life, and I know that it can do the same for all of you. So I sincerely hope that you'll all consider participating, because it has greatly further enriched my life. I know we get the message here, but if you want to crank it up to 11, I would say get into a home study group. So thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Also, information for you, May 25th, coming up, Dr. Petra is hosting a one-day meditation retreat. So whether you're a novice at meditating, whether you love the idea of meditating, whether you've tried it and you hate it, you can come and learn more about meditation and about how it can really work for you. Various ways, so you can experiment with sacred silence, sacred walking, sacred sound, and sacred chanting. So you just want maybe a day to reduce stress for you. This is a perfect way. Commune with yourself, with spirit, and with others here at CSL Dallas. It'll be a gentle day. You can nourish your spirit and your soul. Learn more at csldallas.org. And that's May 25th. We love being in the community with you. This is fantastic here. Thank you again online. Thank you for the people here in the sanctuary with us. Our practitioners are here today for your spiritual support. You can receive a powerful spiritual mind treatment that is specifically tailored for you. If you're here on campus, go across the breezeway to the Peace Room. And if you're online with us, well, there will be a link in the chat where we can get you set up with one of those practitioners right here after the celebration. We want to mention one other thing for the folks on campus here today. We're transforming our space, and we have some items for sale out here in the breezeway under the stairs. So go out there and take a look. Books and other things that are available, you can take them with you today. And there's a little card there. You can take a picture of the, what's that logo called? A QR code. It tells you how you can make a donation to pay for the items and help support the center as we clear up and clean up and move on.
Yes. And before we close, for those of you who haven't seen her in a year, and you know she lived with me for quite a while, I want to let you know that Sadie Weldes, my niece, is here in town for a couple of weeks. I'd love for you to say hello. Sadie, I'm going to make you stand up and let us say welcome to you. We love you. We always love it when you're
Hi, Sadie.
Thank you.
Awesome. Wonderful. Now let us all join and rise as we are able and close out this celebration in song.